Ooh, I'm home. I am about to take a nap, y'all. Don't worry, because I have been up since 4:30 this morning. I had to do some extra labs and make sure that my levels were high enough to safely send me home. We beat the snowstorm. We get in another one. We already got over a foot outside as it is. I took some pictures and I put them up in my YouTube community tab. I was trying to get it to work, and I'm old lady tired at this point. I can't figure this mess out, so I'm just gonna try to explain my ordeal before I conk out for a bit. Point blank, I've been wrestling with hypocalcemia for the last few weeks. And I probably had it for a while, but didn't realize it because I always attributed the fatigue and stuff I got, especially around my period, to low iron because I also have anemia problems from time to time. But I changed my diet, started exercising, and the anemia problems just stop being a problem. In fact, when they checked me, I was at an 11, and normally I am under double digits. So when I found out what hypocalcemia was, it made so much more sense. The numbness, the weird pains, the tingling in my face from time to time, the full out meltdown that my body had from the food poisoning, because that legitimately did a domino effect. And because my calcium levels went low again, which they still couldn't figure out at first, hence the second visit to the hospital where I stayed for 6 days, and then they were like, oh, you need vitamin D. So they started me on a lower dose of vitamin D and got my levels to a 6, but it wasn't enough. 6 is not high enough. We had to get it higher. So this last visit was from Wednesday till today. They up my medications. I now have to take the vitamin D tablets 3 times a week. They're a higher dose. I have to take a bunch of calcium stuff. I got a bunch of brochures on what calcium based items, both vegetables and stuff, that I can use to boost them naturally. And I'm just going to get that stuff. And I got an appointment with my doctor tomorrow. It's going to be our first meeting since it's somebody that I switched to up here, and I'm hopeful that they'll listen, they'll understand what I went through, and they'll work with me. I also have a follow up book with the specialist, and they want me to go to an endocrinologist, but I want to see what the specialist says because honestly, they ran an MRI on me, they ran all kinds of scans, all my numbers came back, I'm not going to say completely okay because some of them were still lower than what they wanted, but I don't have any of the conditions for stuff that would make somebody worry about kidneys. But all the new medications that I have to take, along with the vitamins that I have to take, could cause kidney stones. So they're trying to preempt that, and I like that the hospital was that thorough. But when I say this was an ordeal, it was an ordeal. The nurses are the only reason why I did not go completely bipolar, schizophrenic, crazy. And I don't care what anybody says, nurses are real heroes. They are the reason why that stay and the last few stays weren't so bad. But the first night I got in, because I took the branch of the hospital up here's advice and just went straight to Bay City. And they got my IVs in quick. There was no searching for the vein and digging in my arms and saying, oh no, the doctor got this wrong. You don't need this. So it was easier, but that ER visit in itself, the hospitals up here have way more comfortable beds. I don't know what they were thinking, but they said, we apologize. These beds are not made for long term use. They're very hard. And then they left me there for 12 hours. And Kiddo and Greg stayed by my side the entire time. So that was nice. But don't mind my hair. I had to wash it and I put it up in pigtails. Either way, 12 hours in the hard ass hospital bed was a lot. So by the time they got me upstairs, I was just grateful for anything. And I had a normal bed. It was comfortable. It was soft. I just wanted to sleep. Unfortunately, they put me in the fall unit, which I don't understand because I could walk. I got to the bathroom and did my PT while I was there. physical therapy, for those of you like PT. Um, but I guess they wanted to get me up there quick enough, and beds were just not opening up. So they got me where they could stick me. Unfortunately, I was housed with a elderly lady who was going through both dementia and schizophrenic episodes. And I was mindful that somebody who has to deal with schizophrenia myself, I wanted to be more understanding. But the first night I'm there, she falls out the bed and the staff had to come, and it was a mess because she kept trying to climb in out of bed. She kept trying to pull her heart monitor and other IVs and stuff out, and it was just, oh, a nightmare. So they thought that they would make it up to me by getting me a bariatric bed, which I didn't need. In fact, the nurses kept joking, you look like a little kid in that bed because the bed is huge. And while I'm still a hefty heifer, I'm not acting like I'm skinny. I did lose 21 pounds though, for those haters that are watching. I know you are watching, heifer. Um, the bed was way too big, but it was fine because it's adjustable. The only thing that threw me off for a bit is at random times, if it doesn't seem like you're breathing properly, it'll inflate to remind you to breathe, which is a nice feature. But when you're trying to sleep and all of a sudden your bed starts bumping up and you know you're not hitting something, it messes with your brain for a bit. I got used to it. It was fine, but I'm glad that I no longer technically qualify for a bariatric bed, but it's good to know that if I get one, it'll be huge. So, 2 nights in, I finally get I'm going to call her my neighbor, calm down, because she was having a lot of episodes being combative with the staff. Those nurses were a trooper because they were patient with her as they had to change her, redo her IVs, redo her heart monitor, get her cleaned up. And, oh, one moment. Okay, I had to let my son know to help him out. And I know, y'all, I know I look tired because I am tired, but I just wanted to let it be known that the nurses at that hospital are troopers. They dealt with that lady as best they could. They read her stories. They shampooed her hair. They tried to keep her in bed. But by the fourth night, I was feeling like that Bugs Bunny cartoon where he opened one eye and it was bloodshot. Because every time I got my eyes closed, she would wake up and start going belligerent. And it was just a lot. I finally had to start using my call device to get people in to look at her because they started just like, okay, we'll come if we need to come for changing and other stuff, but she was putting in food orders in the middle of the night and it's like, lady, go to sleep. So the night I finally just like snapped, we had finally started to talk, get her calm. I could get her to sleep by just letting her talk and talking at her. And it was nice. Even when I went to go do my PT, I had made sure she got to sleep first. The nurses thanked me. It was fine. It was like taking care of a baby. But when I say that that final night she went completely belligerent, did not want to hear it. Everybody was either lying to her, abusing her. It was messy. And I had one of her relatives' numbers, and part of me was gonna call them, but I finally just said, no, I'm just gonna try to go to sleep. I was having chest pains again from the calcium deficiency. I just wanted to rest. And when they told me on Sunday that they were keeping me still just to get my levels up a bit more, I was depressed because she was still next to me, completely belligerent, completely trying to get out of bed. And it was just like, I'm never going to get sleep. Every time I get sleep, like 4 hours later, I'm being poked and prodded. I'm getting my vitals done. And I knew it was necessary. But as a manic schizophrenic, I need sleep or it becomes bad. And I just got to the point where I was almost despondent. Greg was texting me, trying to make sure I was okay. And I was just not feeling it. So he made a call. And now all of a sudden, a bed opened up by the nurse's station, and they moved my belligerent neighbor to there so that they could see her and get to her quicker. And it was lovely. I had the whole room to myself for a full day and night. My father-in-law came to drop off some stuff for me and tried to wake me, but I was so zonked out because it was an all-night ordeal with her getting up out of the bed, setting off her alarms because she wasn't supposed to get up. And it was just wow. But it's like I said, I am just glad to be home. I'm glad to know what this is and what we can do to combat it. I have a follow up with my physician tomorrow, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on what went down. I'll probably try to recap this a little bit more on Friday night's Bonnet Chronicles. I'm sorry there won't be a Tell It Tuesday today, but as you can see, I am exhausted. Ooh, I still got part of that green tea mask on my face. Lovely. But it felt good to do a facial scrub. Felt good to just be home. But like I said, I need to be resting. Greg's back. He's probably like, why is she talking to her PC? She promised me she'd rest. I'm not doing a live. I just wanted to give you an update while my hair dries, and I don't think I'm gonna even make it. I really feel like I'm gonna zonk out. So thank yous for watching if you watch, and I'll see y'all soon.